The Houston Texans made a massive mistake at the 2023 NFL Draft. Today, Hitman and I take a look at the Houston Texans and see why maybe they might not be as good as they think they are. That and more on today's show. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to Forward Progress here on the Hammer Betting Network and powered by Pinnacle. Before we get started today, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Pinnacle. Pinnacle is the world's sharpest sportsbook, offering competitive odds for 25 years. We love to preach line shopping on this channel, and with everyday competitive odds, Pinnacle should be a part of one of your available outs. If you're looking to support the show, make sure you use code HAMMER when signing up to Pinnacle. That's code HAMMER when signing up to Pinnacle, your trusted sportsbook for 25 years. Bet smart, bet Pinnacle. Must be 19 plus in Ontario. Please play responsibly and not available in the U.S. Guys, today I'm joined alongside Hitman. You can find him on Twitter at Hitman428. He's a prop expert. Gave out a nice little over on our on Forward Progress a little earlier in the season, but we're going back to the unders. We're going back to the underwell here. So today we're not going to bury the lead. We're just going to talk about the Houston Texans and why we're fading them this year, right? So listen, they were horrible last year, Hitman. I mean, their offense was one of the worst in the league, if not the worst in the league. Only scored 27 touchdowns. I was looking at that today. It's crazy to me an offense can only score that much in today's NFL. But they get D'Amico Ryans, all right? They made some moves at the draft. They traded up to get Will Anderson. They traded their 2024 first-round pick, which might end up being for Caleb Williams. So, I mean, listen, they're making all these moves that signal they want to win. So tell me why you'd want to fade their season win total this year.
Yeah, so one of the big additions that they did make in the offseason was getting their offensive line to at least be projected to be an above average unit. But what's happened in training camp the past few weeks is they've had a lot of injuries to their offensive line. And what was considered a strength of their offense going into the season now could be a weakness. Tyus Howard is probably out for a few weeks. Their right tackle, Kenyon Green, is out for the season. And Juice Scruggs, their other offensive lineman, is injured as well. So we have three starting offensive linemen now injured for Houston. Then you mentioned about, they added CJ Stroud. Really struggled in the preseason. Went 11 of 20 passing, 90 passing yards, one passing touchdown, one interception. And now with an offensive line that's struggling, and you have a weaponry that, face it, they really don't have a number one or maybe even a number two pass catcher right now. It's kind of just a collection of guys that Houston added in free agency. So even though they did spend all this money, there was no really game changers that they did add to this offense. So it's probably going to be another tough year for Houston's offense. Probably one of the lowest scoring teams in the league, I would guess.
Yeah, fair enough. And looking over at Pinnacle now, the Houston Texans under is lined. It's lined towards the under. It's 6.5 right now. It's minus 165. So you're gonna have to pay a little bit of juice for that. But factoring in all these injuries, I think it's a good play. Like now, let's just take a step back and look at the division itself. I mean, the Colts are also in their division. We just got recent news: Jonathan Taylor on the PUP list. I know running backs don't matter, but he seems to be like one of the few running backs that might actually matter a little bit more, and would probably help Anthony Richardson as a passer, just to spread the field a bit for him. So the Colts right now are lined over 6.5 minus 129. So they're juiced to the over. I mean, could you see the Colts bottom out here more compared to the Texans, or do you really think that the Texans are the bottom of the barrel in that division?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty low on the Colts, but I'm even lower on Houston. I think that Anthony Richardson, as much as he might have maybe a lower floor than a lot of guys, he might have the biggest ceiling of any of these rookie quarterbacks. So, yeah, for me, it's still Houston. I mean, you might say, like, oh, well, Houston gets to play the Colts twice. But guess what? On the Colts schedule, what are they looking at as their easy game? They're looking at Houston, So I think that Houston is probably still a few points worse than the Colts, as bad as the Colts are, which is probably the 28th or so ranked team in the NFL.
All right, so they're the 28th ranked team. I have to ask you, where are the Texans ranked for you?
It would be 31.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay, so ranked.
Arizona's going to be bad, but
Yeah,
yeah, Houston would be 31.
there's only one team that's legitimately tanking, but at this point, it seems like the way that the Houston Texans season is going, will also be tanking. It's just unfortunate that they don't have that first round pick, and that first round pick is going to Arizona. And anyways, that'll be it for us today, guys. Remember, Houston Texans 6.5 under minus 165. You can find that over at Pinnacle, providing you the best odds for 25 years. Guys, again, if you want to be first to market when this stuff happens, because we like to move lines here on Forward Progress, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified right when we go live. We have a ton of great content planned for you guys throughout the NFL season. So yeah, just make sure you're subscribed so you be first to know notified when we go live. But without further ado, for Hitman, I'm Jason. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Forward Progress right here on the Hammer Betting Network presented by Pinnacle.